Week 5's finished, and surprisingly, there weren't a ton of injuries. So that means not a lot of new names on the waiver wire. Doesn't mean there are no worthy options, though, especially at receiver, because there's a ton. This is Mayo'S Triple Play, Positional Waiver Wires. The big pickup at running back this week, Zach Stacy, St. Louis Rams, 14 carries, 78 yards. But he did hurt his rib in the game and had to leave. He'll be fine for next week, though. In his absence, Daryl Richardson rushed 13 times for 48 yards, thus proving again, he's no good. Spend $21 on Zach Stacy if you really want to get him. Maybe go a few extra bucks if you really need a running back. He's looking like a great ad going forward. Andre Ellington in Arizona, another good pickup. 7 carries, 52 yards, 4 catches, 31 yards. That really trumped Rashard Mendenhall's 17 carries for 43 yards, although Mendy did find the end zone. Eventually, in Arizona, Bruce Arians is going to say, you know what? Rashard Mendenhall, you suck. Andre Ellington, you're in. So hop on him now, and you'll have him for later in the season. A lot of people picked up LeGarrette Blount this weekend, hoping he'd have a great game. Not so much the case. Brendan Bolden, though, did look good, caught 6 passes on 8 targets. Danny Woodhead is probably owned in every PPR league, but for standard formats, with Ryan Matthews out, he's definitely worth an ad. And Ronnie Brown is too in deeper formats. He'll take over that in-between the tackles running from Ryan Matthews, and he's worth, like I said, a deep ad, maybe a buck or two, maybe a $0 bid, but you might want to get him on your roster if you really need the running back help. Terrence Williams lit up the Broncos yesterday. 4 catches, 151 yards and a score. Probably not going to happen every week, especially when Miles Austin returns. But if you want to get him off free agency, it's probably going to cost you upwards of 25 bucks, maybe 30. Probably not worth it, because when Austin returns, who knows what sort of role Williams will have. Earlier in the season, he was only getting a sparse amount of targets, and Austin was filling it up. So you have to watch out there. If you can get him for cheap, I say add him, but if you have to break the bank, no way. Austin Pettis, on the other hand, found a way to be productive again. 4 catches, scored twice. That's 4 straight weeks of productive output. You could probably get him for 3 or 4 bucks. Definitely worth an ad in PPR leagues, in deeper leagues. The Chargers broke out against the Raiders last night. Keenan Allen and Vincent Brown both go for over 100 yards. I like Keenan Allen a little bit better than Brown. Probably worth $7 off the wire. A great schedule coming down the stretch. Brandon Gibson in Miami, he's going on bye this week, so everyone's going to forget about him. Probably don't even need to put in a waiver claim for him, but pick him up. He either has 6+ catches or 70+ yards in 4 or 5 games. But that's pretty decent, especially if you play in a 14-team league, 16-team league PPR. That's a great value to have on your bench, someone you can just plug in. Ruben Randle goes off against the Eagles. Everyone's going to run to pick him up, but you don't. Because it's against the Eagles, they get killed by wide receiver 2s and 3s like Randle showed. Don't expect the 13 targets again. Sell high if you have them. Don't pick up Ruben Randle. And if you're going super deep, 18-team, 20-team, 30-team leagues. If it's PPR, Deontay Thompson for the Ravens. Probably never heard of him because I hadn't either. But this week, only 2 catches, but 7 targets from Joe Flacco. The week before against Buffalo, 5 targets. Someone to keep on the radar. Do you have any interest in a tight end who's averaging 12.8 fantasy points per game in PPR formats? Sure you do. And it's Charles Dice Clay, the Dice Man, being productive again this week. They're going on bye next week, so he's going to be available on waiver wires. $0 bid will probably do if he's not owned, because someone's going to be looking to plug and play a tight end this week, and they're not going to be looking at him. You stash him away and cash in. He's a fringe top 10 tight end for the rest of the season. In St. Louis, it looks like Lance Kendricks, not Jared Cook, is the tight end to own. This week, Kendricks gets 6 targets to Jared Cook's 3. That's 2 weeks in a row he's outperformed him, and he caught his 3rd touchdown in the last 2 games. He's clearly Sam Bradford's choice in the red zone. Not a great pickup, but a decent plug-and-play. Same goes for Scott Chandler. Thad Lewis is starting for Buffalo this week, and bad quarterbacks love checking down to the tight end. He's basically a touchdown or bust type play, but if you're hurt, you can do worse than Scott Chandler. For more in-depth analysis on the waiver wire, be sure to check out the Pat Mayo Hour with myself and Greg Sussman. We go more in-depth on every ad and every takeaway from Week 5. Get you ready for Week 6, and you can also do that by going to RotoExperts.com, hitting the X video tab, and finding my videos every day for the best information, starts, sits, busts, sleepers, everything you need. Plus Thursdays, the Flexperts out, full PPR rankings 1 through 150 with updates on Saturday and Sunday to make sure that every injury and every new player who comes up during the week is covered. So remember to check that out. It's the best resource you can get before game time on Sunday. So check it out. I'm Pat Mayo. See you next time.